Hi there folks, it's me again, Rona Barber, and I'd like to share something with you again. I'm going to do something that I very rarely do. I'm actually going to read something to you because I can't remember exactly all the detail about this person and I want to get it right. Very, very famous man, a storyteller of some centuries ago. Children have listened intently to Naseruddin Hodja's stories, told around campfires, and even today wise men have gathered in boardrooms to listen to his words that have been passed on, while women also take his teachings as advice. Naseruddin Hodja's anecdotes have travelled over land and sea, making their way into the hearts and minds of tribal members of various cultural backgrounds. From the Turkic world to Persian, Arabian, African and Asian cultures and along the Silk Road to China, his stories have been enjoyed by millions. So who is Naseruddin Hodja? And did he ever actually really exist? Often depicted in illustrations as a white bearded imam with his head wrapped in a white turban, wearing a frock coat and riding a donkey backwards, Naseruddin Hodja was in fact a real person. Born in the village of Sivrihishar in the Turkish province of Eskişehir in the year 1208, Naseruddin Hodja was a very well-educated man. His first name, Naseruddin, means victory of faith, while his surname Hodja means master or teacher. And he certainly, undoubtedly, lived up to his name. A philosopher with a good sense of humour and the ability to convey symbolic messages through storytelling, his uncanny ability to highlight the social problems of his time by the use of humour was legendary. Naseruddin Hodja often addressed the connection between wealth and social problems, attributing the habits of the wealthy to the problems faced by society. And some people would agree that that's the way it is today. Naseruddin Hodja was not only a storyteller, often reenacting his stories through real-life events. His patience and his sharp wit would often leave people in awe, albeit sometimes outraged. And he lived to be 74 years old, and that was considered to be a ripe old age in those times. Naseruddin Hodja passed away in 1248 in the province of Akşehir, claiming his stake in Turkish folkloric culture forever. The memory of his life is celebrated annually in Akşehir, where he was buried in a tomb. And the International Naseruddin Hodja Festival, held every year from the 5th to the 10th of July, is attended by artists, poets, writers, musicians, film goers, and especially storytellers who keep the memory of Naseruddin Hodja alive. In 1996, Naseruddin Hodja was honoured by UNESCO for his contributions to society. I'd like to share one of his witty stories with you. Naseruddin Hodja went to the Turkish baths this day, and he was just dressed in normal clothes and didn't have any air of superiority about him. He was just an ordinary man. And when he arrived there, the attendants just ignored them. They always wanted it to be the wealthy people who came along, and they would fawn over them because they always got a good tip. Because he was just an ordinary man, they practically just ignored him. In fact, they did ignore him. They didn't even run hot water for him. He had to have a cold bath. There was no perfumes or oils made available to him. And they didn't even find towels for him. He had to go and find for himself. So he wasn't very happy. And he had his cold bath, dried himself with thin towels that were no use whatsoever. And as he was leaving, the attendants, in their customary way, held out their hands for a tip. And he gave them a gold coin. Well, they were really taken aback by that. A gold coin. This man must be very rich. So they started to fawn over him as he was leaving. Too late. You know, he just put his hand up and left. When he went the following week, he was treated entirely differently. He was still in the same ordinary clothes, nothing fancy about him. And they wanted to fawn over him and what can we get you? And they brought him a drink and brought out the nicest perfumes and oils for him to choose which ones he wanted, gave him the softest, whitest, fluffy towels, ran him a hot bath. And luxuriously offered to fill it up again to let him have a longer soak in the bath. And when he left, having been pampered and powdered and perfumed, they stood by and held out their hands for a tip. And this time he put the smallest copper coin in their hand. And they looked at it and they said, "What's this? You're a wealthy man. You gave us a gold coin the last time." He said, "Yes, that gold coin I gave you the last time was for this bath. This copper coin was for the last one." I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.